It's really an off-road vehicle, ano? Which leads me to the point na it's a little bit more matagtag. That's like the dumbest thing that you could do because you're gonna ruin all the gears. For me, it's really a four-seater car, honestly. All right, everyone. We are inside a luxury, full-size SUV by Jetour. Guys, this is a Jetour Gaia G700. As a disclaimer, no, we did get to ride in one of these in China, but it was a little unfair to review it at that time because it had all-terrain tires. And then direct nilift nila eh. So medyo unfair kaya matagtag siya. I think, by the way, this is the first time it's being reviewed. O the second time, nauna si Big Boy Cheng. Una ka sa akin ha. Naskupan mo ako ha, Big Boy. But finally, we have this. I've been driving this car for the last 3 days and being driven around by our trusty driver, John. Guys, it's just so amazing that Chinese technology and Chinese automotive technology has gone such a long way. One of the things you'll notice driving this car is kahit ang laki niya, direkte mo, para ka sa aquarium eh. You know, not that aquariums are a bad thing. Certain places may aquarium, masama. Bawal na yun, nire-raid yung mga ganon. Oo, nire-raid yun. Itong aquarium na to maganda. Diba? Tingnan mo, kitang-kita mo, yung depth perception mo sa kotse, kahit malaki siya, it's easy to drive, easy to see. Driving this car is such a pleasure. Kasi it's big, it's comfortable, and it's the first time na kahit sobra siyang daming technology, hindi siya nakaka-overwhelm. Inis na inis ako direct yung may screen na marami. Ito, tama yung pag-layout niya eh. Nilagay niya ron, no? You still get all the tech that you need, but it's not something that's offensive. I've driven so many of these cars in the last 2 years, ano? And so I've seen the evolution of technology. And the one thing I've seen talaga na nagbago sa kanila is the adaptability on how you drive. The car almost feels like it adjusts to the way you drive, and it's pretty intelligent. The ADAS, driver's assistance, is very intuitive. Gumagaling ng gumagaling. The way the car is ergonomically designed is very good. Hindi ka pareho dati na kailangan mo si Madam Auring para malaman mo kung ano yung command. You know, kailangan mo ng genie. Hirap hanapin ng mga commands. Now, they're fairly easy to use. Yung mga buttons. Even sobrang high-tech itong sasakyan na to, dito ako natutuwa. Yung louver ng aircon. Hindi nila ginawang yung electronic. No? Hindi na natin gagawin direct ha. Pero one of the amazing features of this car is kaya niyang mag-U-turn mag-isa in place. Ha? Yes! Kaya lang, naawa ako sa sasakyan na ginagawa nila yon because ginagawa sa semento. Kasi pag ginawa mo sa semento, nagko-kontra yung mga gear, there's a chance na masira. So you can use it actually pag loose dirt. Yung loose gravel or loose dirt. Para makaikot siya. Kasi yung mga gulong niya magka-counter yan eh. Para umikot. Guys, never ever do that on cement. Sisirain mo yung transmission. Sisirain mo yung gears. It's really an off-road vehicle, ano? Which leads me to the point na on-road, and guys, I hope people don't take this a little bit differently, but it's a little bit more matagtag. Notice mo, no? Hindi siya matagtag to the point na it's annoying. It's sporty. You know? Kasi yung suspension niya mas angkop pang off-road eh. You can feel a little bit of, di ba? Na? Medyo, or maybe it's because it's Michelin. Hindi kasi Continental eh. Kung Continental yun, mas maganda siguro. Hindi siya kaldag mayaman. You know? Kaldag medyo mayaman. Walang Total Care Plus. Hindi ka mukha ng Continental. At merong warranty. But it doesn't remove the fact that it's a very capable car. And it's very comfortable in the back. Yung second row captain seats niya, tingnan mo, grabe. Kumusta yung upuan dyan, direct? Diba? This has Lexicon sound system. For those of you guys who don't know what Lexicon is, it's a very high-end audio system that their home audio, you know, may speakers sila na $150,000 to $200,000. And it really sounds like Mariah Carey nung marunong pa siyang kumanta. Ganda ng sound system na Lexicon. They make really good sound systems. And they partnered up with Jetour. They made the sound system for this vehicle. And the whole car just rides so well. Like I said, the way that it's configured, it's just parang laki ng auto pero ang dali niyang ipasok. And then the sensors are extremely very intelligent kasi talagang pag may dumaan, no? Minsan nadidelay kasi yung kamote, ang bilis It's a PHEV. It has I believe, a 35 kilowatt battery, which is large for a PHEV. Most PHEVs like BYD, they have 10 to 15 kilowatts. You know? This about 35.3, I think. It does have a 2-liter twin-turbo engine and an electric motor, which has a combined horsepower of about 900. Ang laki ng auto, pero yung pickup niya ang ganda. Hindi pa tayo naka-sport, I mean, it's just regular driving. It's just very well packaged. Kaya nagulat ako when this car arrived. I was really surprised with the way it looked, the way it presented itself, and especially when I sat inside. It's just totally different world, no? So, guys, there's a little bit of our test drive. We'll go over the features, the outside, the exterior, the interior of the car in a little bit. So, see you guys in a bit. So, guys, we just finished driving this Jetour Gaia G700, and like I said, it's a pretty good driving car. Easy to drive, easy to maneuver, very comfortable. Konting tagtag, like I said, and I hope you guys don't take it against me, but that's how I felt, and that's how some of the guys that are crew with me felt as well. But the car actually works. Okay, it's a very well-built car, built by a very well-reputable company, and it's loaded with features, guys. For the price, you can't beat it. Kasi matipid, malaki, komportable. Okay, so let's go over some of the features. Obviously, these are standard features that most cars have nowadays, no? You have the LED headlights, LED fogs. You have the front camera, the big-ass Jetour grille that tells you it's a Jetour. It has MMW radar. You know, di ko alam kung ginagamit yan ng Saudi para ma-detect yung missile ng Iran. Pero may radar daw So, it's probably something to do with the ADAS because it does have a LiDAR sensor in front. So, I'm assuming it's something to do with ADAS. No? So I haven't really researched it much. I don't really go into a lot of the options unless I'm really buying the car and I get to drive it. It does come with 20-inch wheels, Michelin tires. I would have opted for Continental, but siguro malaking discount nakuha ng Jetour sa Michelin. Kaya yan na kinabit. We will actually have a full video about OEM tires versus aftermarket tires. So stay tuned. Sponsored by Continental, and it's a very unbiased video just for your information. Guys, itong push button na to, hindi namin alam kasi apat Pinipindot namin, hindi naman humihinto yung kotse. I think this is something to do with the automatic U-turn. This car actually has the capability, as you see in this clip, it can do a 180 turn in place. Kaya lang, like I said in the driving review, a lot of people do it on cement. They do it on hard pavement. That's like the dumbest thing that you could do because you're gonna ruin all the gears. Dahil lahat ng gears yan magbabali-baliktad, so the car can turn. And when you have cement and you have grip, there's chances na yung mga gears ma-pressure and mag-dislodge. The way the trim is configured, it's really nice. It's very elegant, So if you look at a lot of the cars na napoproduce today, or even before, it's inspired by 3 or 4 different vehicles put into one. And that's the interpretation of the designer. If you look in the back, it's basically a big-ass T2. Diba? Para siyang malaking T2, but it has certain features that the T2 doesn't have. Obviously, you have the trim, you have a bigger tail light, obviously a wider brake light. It's actually pretty cool because even with the third row seat up, you still have pretty good baggage space for a weekend trip. For me, it's really a 4-seater car. Honestly, it's not a 7-seater car. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. Guys, let's go over the interior. So guys, inside the interior is where the real magic happens, I think, with this car. They've chosen, like a lot of other Chinese-made vehicles, they have a very, very good choice of leather. They have very keen choice of textures. It contrasts. It gives you that elegant look. And I like the way that they laid out the screen, wherein ang dami mong information. Actually, you can configure a lot of these sa screen. You can choose whether you want the compass, you want the battery, you want the clock. There's a lot of things you can do to configure, and you still have your infotainment system in the middle. Because one of the biggest problems, I think, when you're driving is when you have to look at that hole between the busina and the top of the steering wheel just to see how fast you're going or information that you need to see. At least ito, nilagay nila sa taas and you can clearly see it's right in your line of sight and you don't have to have a heads-up display. Minsan kasi yung heads-up display, nakakaduling din, especially when you're driving. No? Obviously, they have the louver na paborito ko kasi madaling i-adjust, and dito sa gilid, ang tawag ko dyan, louver, kasi dalawang louver. Pwedeng ibaba yung isa, itaas yung isa. So kung medyo matangkad ka, mako-cover yung buo. And they do have a wireless charger. Sana dalawa na nilagay nyo kasi dalawa naman yung lalagyan, no? And you have all your buttons here. You know, yung marami yung ginagamit yung button lagi nandito na. So you have ventilated seats, air conditioning, auto, pwede mo i-off, pwede mo initan or palamigin. And you don't have to go through the screen, no? Because yan yung mga madadalas ginagamit. Guys, dito ako na fake news talaga when I first got in the car. Sabi ko, ano ba naman to? Ang high-tech ng kotse. Maglalagay pa sila ng ganito, low-tech na rear view mirror, no? But wait, there's more. Ginawa nila, pwede mong i-streaming. Meron na siyang rear view camera na nakalagay doon. Another thing I love about this car, meron siyang pabango. May 3 pabango. Pag hindi ma-type yung amoy nung nakasakay, you can actually activate the 3 scents that you have in the car. The second row seats are as comfortable as the driver and passenger. You have controls here. You can have your ventilated seats, your screen here. So if you want to watch a movie or something, you can cast onto, I haven't really tried it yet, but I'm sure you could do it. And you have your table here. The reason why there's no table on this side, because VIPs normally sit caddy corner across diagonally from the driver. So these are what you call queen seats. So when you actually flick a button, reclines the seat, pushes that seat forward, you know, at least you can sleep. You know? So this is called the queen seat. You can't do it on the driver's side. Kasi kawawa naman yung driver mo. Baka maipit. Why did I say this car is really a 4-seater car? It's because with most vehicles, even with this vehicle that's a full-size SUV, the third row seat is very hard to make into a full seat. Kasi you have the batteries, you have a lot of things going for you in the back. So madalas sinisingit lang yan. So one of the things that I've noticed, because if you look, mas mataas to eh. Tingnan nyo guys. This is where the battery is, right underneath. So this is elevated. So pag sakay mo dito sa likod, hindi ako nagpapakyut. Ganun lang talaga. It's a little hard because kung kasi laki mo si Arthur, walang problema. Other than that, the car is really well built, very drivable. I think it's well priced at 4.788. Is it something that I would buy? I would if there's no other choices in the market, but it's not really something that I can get excited about. For some people, this is the right car. Another thing that I think that is going for this car is there's no other car in this segment that has this type of features and this type of tech. So if you're a very tech-heavy person, this is something that you can consider. So guys, this is again Jetour Gaia G700. Check it out. They have a dealership in Quezon Avenue, and you can see this car and check it out. See you guys on the next review. Gusto ko masaya ka. This is King Panda from Armored Panda Industries, and welcome to my kingdom. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all the new cars, all the new reviews, and please do tell us what you want to see next. Thanks very much for supporting us.